Welcome again to the Clarity Challenge. My name is Mason I.B. West. I serve as the Clarity Challenge facilitator, and I am also the college director at the LoveLife Institute. For a while now, we've been having conversations that border on partner weaknesses. And the bottom line has been the fact that you probably have been complaining about certain behavioral tendencies of your partner for a long time without a change. And we're saying that it is very possible that if you approach things a little differently, then you might experience the change that you have for long been looking for. Listen. It's always an advantage when you know what the problem is that you're dealing with, because knowing the problem means that the problem is already half solved. That's very important. So for some of us, the things we're dealing with in our relationships border on our partner's disposition to anger. Sometimes partners are having bouts of insecurity, and insecurity is a broad subject because what engenders insecurity is different for different people. Some people are dealing with finance. Once they have financial issues, they run out of control when it comes to their behaviors and their attitudes towards people. Some people are dealing with impatience. Some people are poor at dressing. Other people are poor at managing time. Some people are alcoholics. Some are dealing with pornography. Others are dealing with masturbation. And we said that in dealing with partner weakness related issues, the first thing you must do is to determine whether or not what your partner is dealing with is a weakness. We did all of that in our first, second, and third episodes. So we said that once you can clearly identify whether what your partner is dealing with is a weakness or not, you have solved half the problem. We said that once you are able to establish that actually your partner is having to deal with weaknesses, then the next thing you must do is that you must accept the fact of who your partner is. Instead of fighting them, you better accept the reality of what they're dealing with. We took it up to the next level to say that as soon as acceptance is established, then what will follow naturally is that you will be empathetic for and to your partner. We said that what will follow empathy is that once you are empathetic, you will become patient with them as you support them. We have established that as you put all these things in their proper perspective, it is important that you seek professional assistance in dealing with weaknesses, because oftentimes you do not have the skill set, neither do you have the patience or the mental or psychological framework to be able to provide the assistance that your partner needs. However, we said that no matter how much of professional assistance your partner gets, if the home environment, if you as a partner is not supportive, if you don't create an environment suitable for personal development, it might make things complicated and make things difficult for your partner. This is profound. Today we go into part 4 of our discourse on managing partner weaknesses. You will remember that this entire conversation began with certain questions in class on our platform in the Clarity Challenge, where we asked 5 profound questions. Number 1, what are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? What are your partner's weaknesses? What are their strengths? And how does these weaknesses and strengths complement each other? Listen to this. It is the extent to which both your weakness and that of your partner's strength, it is the extent to which they complement each other. It is to that extent that you can maximize the blessedness of the marital experience. Never forget, the Bible says in very clear terms that 2 are better than 1. So every time 2 people come together, their output is supposed to be better than when they were 1. But the extent to which that becomes a reality is that extent to which they are able to collapse themselves, dissolve themselves into one unified entity by taking advantage of maximizing the benefits of their strengths and their weakness, so that they become one indivisible, one beautiful, authentic entity that can make an entire difference. For today, we want to look at a case study in discussing partner weakness management. And as much as there are all kinds of weaknesses, we're going to just take any one case for the purpose of analyzing how exactly you probably might need to begin to position yourself to be of incredible, immense help to your partner. So we probably can look at pornography, we can look at anger, we can look at infidelity, we can look at anything. Okay, let's work with anger for today. Let's use anger as our case study. So now we're assuming that your partner has anger issues. The examples we give can be applied in any scenario most of the times. But let's say that your partner has anger issues. Now, number one, the first thing you got to do is you must ask yourself 3 important, profound questions. What are they? Number one, what do I do? And how do I act in order not to escalate issues? What do I do? And how do I act in order not to escalate issues? This is important. The reason it is important is because oftentimes it is yes, your partner has a weakness, but oftentimes it is the way we behave, what we do or fail to do, that escalates it, that worsens it, that completely, instigates, infuriates, and then provokes them to begin to, bring us about that manifestation, full-fledged manifestation of that weakness. So if we change our approach, a lot of things can happen. So you need to start asking yourself, what are the things I do, or how do I act in order not to escalate issues? What are the things that I'm doing that is making this person to react like this? The next question you want to ask yourself is there anything I am doing, or is there anything I'm not doing that puts him or her in that mode? People don't just get angry. Yeah, there could be cases where extreme cases where you say, but what just happened? Excuse me, but people don't just get angry. Yes, there is a weakness for anger in the person, but there are things that stir up that weakness. There are things that provoke that weakness. Somebody has a weakness for infidelity. There are things that provoke it. So a lady realizes that her husband has a weakness for women, and yet she litters the entire house with ladies all over the place in the name of house helps, in the name of relations, in the names of all kinds of stuff. The question is, what is it that I'm doing that is fanning the embers of that weakness? Now I got to check it. If it's a weakness, you must realize that this person is helpless when it comes to that reality, and you want to position yourself to be of help. The third question you want to ask, okay, if I am not a causal factor, is there anything that I can do about what causes or contributes to this weakness? That's the third question. Okay, you're not a causal factor, but what can you do in order that you can deflate whatever that thing is that is now the causal factor that is contributing to this weakness? Because take it or leave it, nothing, you can't build something on nothing. Everything you see manifest has some underlying factors. We have to be able to define, identify what those underlying factors are to be able to curtail or contain whatever it is that is the result, the outcome of those causal factors. Now that brings me to 5 things you must take note of, things you must do, things you must stop doing, and they are as follows. Number 1, when your partner is angry, instead of escalating issues by the way you respond or act, the best thing you should do is to neutralize the emotions. Because listen, anger is a weakness here. Therefore, anger will come up every now and then, if not almost every day, something will lead to anger. So it's something you have to expect. Stop behaving like you're surprised that he got angry. Stop behaving like you're surprised that he has an affinity for women. Stop behaving like you're surprised when certain things happen. No, you must come to accepting certain realities means you are even expecting these things to occur. But now when they occur, you have put in place what it takes to neutralize the emotions, not to escalate it. You become intentional in the way you live with this person. The reason you probably saw these things when you accepted to marry them. I did counseling, I did therapy for somebody who has been gay, who has been homosexual for decades. And it was an amazing experience. The testimony is mind-blowing. But you see, he had a spouse who understood what he was dealing with when she accepted to marry him. So she was never a stumbling block on his way. It was something she had come to terms with, and so she cooperated with him until God helped him. That's the point I'm making. The next thing you must take note of is don't try to control, don't try to fault an angry man. Listen, when a man is exhibiting a weakness, faulting him doesn't make sense. Listen, he knows that he's wrong. He probably understands that this thing has come up again. He probably understands that, oh Lord, what's going on here? So coming to fault him doesn't fix it. It's the reason why a lot of us lose our partners to other people, because they run into other people who validate them in the midst of that struggle. They run into people who encourage them, who provide support, instead of faulting them, instead of trying to control them. Listen, trying to control or fault a angry man ain't going to fix nothing. What that is going to lead to is that it's going to make him defensive and uncooperative. Listen, as soon as a partner becomes defensive, they become uncooperative. They become difficult to deal with. They become difficult to work with. Profound. You can run away from the truth. The third thing you must take note of is don't also try to get him or her angry either. No, don't be the one that starts it. Don't do it. After all, two people should not get angry at the same time. So even when you think you have a legitimate ground to be angry, you don't get angry when they're already angry. So don't start it. No, don't start it. Don't also get angry. As a matter of fact, you already know he has a weakness for anger. The best you can do is to not come into the space of anger at all. Give him that space. It's his own. You should be on the path of deflating his own when it rises. You cannot use anger to deflate anger. You're going to set an entire house on fire. You don't want to do that. The next thing you need to take note of is when someone is angry, and more so, someone that is prone to get angry, both for something and for nothing, then please allow them to get angry. Listen, let people be. Let them be who they are. Allow them to get angry. Why? Because they will get over it. It's a matter of time. No, you know, sooner or later, they will get over it. So why not let them get angry? Listen, get out of their way. Let them be. Let them get angry. That's what you're going to do. Let them be. Don't stand in their way. You may not like what will follow. Listen, the calmer you remain, the sooner they will get better. Be calm. That's not the time to control. That's not the time to ask why. That's not the time to want to fix nothing. No, let them be. As a matter of fact, calmness is an art. You better learn it. Stop trying to be in control when being in control doesn't fix it. Stop trying to fault people when faulting people doesn't fix it. Stop trying to make sarcastic comments. Stop trying to make inferences that only tend to escalate things. Be wise, because you don't want things to get messier. Oftentimes, it is the way we're handling our partners and their weaknesses that's messing things up. Right now, to take this discussion and conversation to a whole new level, I'm going to look at 7 strengths that can swallow up any weakness. 7 strengths. Yeah, you say they're weak, right? Okay. You say this what easily besets them, right? Now, if you are strong, the proof of your strength is in its ability to contain their weakness. Listen, if you are not able to contain their weakness, then you are also not strong. There is a weakness in you that is making it impossible for you to contain their weakness. As a matter of fact, when you are not able to contain their weakness, then they are strong, you are weak. The proof that you are strong in the area of their weakness is in your ability, the ability of your strength to cushion, to contain, and to manage, to assuage, to deflate, to neutralize, to influence their weakness. That's the proof. So I'll quickly look at 7 strengths. That's the way I like to put it. 7 strengths that can swallow up just any weakness. I cannot guarantee that I'll be able to do all them 7 in this one video.